Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, Ivy got a story for you that's going to warm your heart and remind you of the incredible power within us all. Grab a comfy seat, because this one's special. Once upon a time, nestled among towering mountains, lived a bright-eyed boy named Thomas. He had a smile that could light up any room, but behind those cheerful eyes, he carried worries far heavier than his young shoulders should bear. Thomas lived in a small cottage with his parents. His dad, Mr. Thompson, worked tirelessly as a carpenter, hammering away at boards, trying his best to keep their family afloat. His mom, Mrs. Thompson, was a gifted dressmaker, her nimble fingers always busy, weaving not just fabric but hope into every stitch. Every morning, Thomas woke up to the quiet, hushed whispers of his parents. The worries were always the same: unpaid bills, cupboards that felt too empty, and the constant fear of what tomorrow might bring. Life was tough, but Thomas was tougher. At school, Thomas noticed a boy named Peter. Peter was quiet, a little timid, and wore thick glasses. He walked with a slight limp, and sadly, some of the other kids weren't very kind to him. One day, Thomas saw Peter being bullied, and his heart just shattered. He couldn't stand by. He stepped right in between Peter and the bullies, his voice firm, saying, "Leave him alone." And just like that, everything changed. From that day on, Thomas insisted on walking Peter to school. Soon, they were the best of friends. Peter opened up to Thomas, explaining how he struggled to see the blackboard clearly and how the teasing made him feel. Thomas listened, truly listened, and understood that everyone, no matter how they appeared, had their own battles they were fighting. But Thomas had his own hidden struggles too. He was a bright student, but math? Oh, math was his absolute arch nemesis. No matter how hard he tried, the numbers just wouldn't click. How could they, when his mind was always buzzing with anxieties about his family's financial troubles? One afternoon, he stayed behind after class, gathering the courage to speak to his teacher, Miss Adams. He whispered, "Miss, I just don't understand. I'm trying so hard, but I keep getting it wrong." Miss Adams smiled, a kind, understanding smile. "It's perfectly okay to ask for help, Thomas," she said gently. "That's how we all learn and grow." With her incredible patience and Thomas's sheer persistence, he slowly but surely started to grasp those tricky numbers. He wasn't giving up. Back home, however, things were getting harder. Thomas often overheard his parents' hushed conversations about overdue bills and sleepless nights spent worrying. He felt so powerless, a knot in his stomach, but he wasn't defeated. One night he spoke to himself in a quiet voice. "I can't just sit here and watch. I have to do something." So Thomas started taking on odd jobs all around the village. He mowed lawns, helped wash dishes at the local inn, and ran errands for his neighbors. Every single coin he earned went straight to his parents. But even with all his effort, it still wasn't quite enough to truly make a difference. Then, one sunny afternoon as he walked home, Thomas spotted a bright poster tacked to a tree. It announced a local talent show, grand prize, a life-changing reward. His eyes grew wide. "If I can win this," he thought, a flicker of hope igniting inside him, "I can help my family." He rushed home to tell his parents. At first, they were worried, fearing he might get his hopes up only to be disappointed. But Thomas's unwavering determination, that bright spark in his eyes, eventually convinced them. Every day after school, he poured his heart and soul into practicing his guitar until his fingers ached. He infused every note with his feelings, dreaming of pulling his family out of their hardship. Finally, the night of the talent show arrived. The village hall was absolutely packed. Laughter, bright lights, and a buzz of excitement filled the air. When Thomas's name was called, he took a deep breath, walked onto the stage, and quietly whispered, "This is for Mom and Dad." The music began. He strummed his guitar, and his voice, shaking at first, then strong and full of pure courage, filled the entire hall. Each lyric he sang told his story, his pain, his dreams, and his profound love for his family. When the song ended, there was a moment of complete silence. Then the hall erupted into deafening applause. There wasn't a single dry eye in the audience. Thomas didn't win first prize that evening, but he won something far, far greater: the love and admiration of his entire community. The villagers, deeply touched by his bravery and selflessness, rallied together to help his family. They collected enough money to settle their debts and bring peace back into their home. Tears streamed down his parents' faces as they embraced Thomas tightly, their hearts overflowing with pride and gratitude. In that powerful moment, a profound truth struck Thomas. With love, determination, and compassion, truly nothing is unattainable. As weeks turned into months, the Thompsons faced new challenges, as all families do. But this time, they confronted them together, more united and stronger than ever before. And Thomas carried a lesson he would never forget. No matter what life threw his way, he would always get through it, with music in his heart and that unshakable grin on his face. If this tale touched your heart and reminded you of your own strength, please give this video a big thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. What is one thing you've overcome with determination? I love hearing your stories. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next dose of inspiration. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.